Good morning, my name is Gary Fisalvo. It is a wonderful Monday, January 31st, 2022, and we've got a lot of news for you from all over the world. Everything from testing in Sweden to the most expensive Corvette I've seen sold just yet. All of that and more is to come today on Daily Car News. Hello, good morning. We are going to start off in Europe, where the least expensive electric vehicle for sale has been selling like hotcakes. Dacia, the Dacia Spring electric vehicle, the Spring EV, has been selling like crazy. They've sold 500,000 of these last year. 537,000 were sold in 2021. This is a 3% increase year to year from the years before. This thing is ridiculously cute. It makes 140 miles of range, 181 in the city because you're going to be stopping and starting all day long. 26.8 kilowatt hour battery, a top speed of 78 miles an hour with the front wheel drive system, and it makes 44 horsepower. This thing is crazy. I like this. I liken it to the race to the bottom. How cheap can we make electric vehicles so that way we can get them to everybody? This is great. It is about 12,500 euro, 14,100 USD. Super cool to see Dacia bring it here to the United States. I guess it doesn't really fit. I know it fits more in Europe because the streets are smaller and they have a wonderful infrastructure system to get you in between the cities, but it is very cool to see. Now, testing. Audi is testing the Q6 E-Tron, the 2023 model. They've been spotted in Sweden. So they're doing some cold weather testing for their car. This is the crossover EV, something in between the Audi e-tron full size and the Audi e-tron coupe and sedan. Rumors are it'll be about 600 horsepower, 612 pound-feet of torque. It's going to share engineering with the Porsche Macan EV, and they are both set to release in 2023. Now what's interesting is, even though it has the camo wrap on it, you can see that it has split headlights. One on the bottom and one on the top. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I guess we're gonna have to see when it is released because everything in pre-production is still pre-production, right? So now, speaking of leaks, the Hyundai IONIQ 5N might have just been leaked on Facebook. Now, we can't confirm this. This is just a leak. It might be a very talented artist rendering, or it might be something from Hyundai themselves, but the Hyundai IONIQ 5N performance version might have just been leaked online thanks to user YizaPH on Facebook. We are expecting a 600 horsepower N division for this hot hatch, and that's about it. It looks really good. Here it is, and I can't wait to see it in the flesh. Another Rivian van has been spotted in LA, this time on the I-10. This has been spotted by Twitter user DS Golson right here. We're going to see more and more of these to come as they start to fill out their fleet of last mile vehicles. Again, this is going to take the packages from the hub to your door. That's what they are for, 140-ish miles, 150-ish miles per battery charge of range, and that's really all they need to do. Go back to the hub and charge again. Now, how do you get from the hub to the factory? The Tesla Semi, which we covered last week, has a Megacharger. You can't just plug this into any outlet. You're going to need some real power. And Megachargers were installed at the Frito-Lay facility in, oh man, I can't remember San Francisco town, I think. It's been out there. 3 stalls were installed, but we have no confirmation yet on if they are operational. The photos were shared on Twitter by the Kilowatts. So thank you to you guys for doing what you're doing. Keep an eye out for the semis. This is the 3rd installation that I can think of. One at the Gigafactory in Nevada, one here at the Frito-Lay facility, and one at the PepsiCo plant in California. Now, we're jumping from EVs to hybrids, where the 2022 Jeep Cherokee 4xe pricing has just been revealed. $59,495. That is MSRP, so we're gonna see how much that changes. But that's the base, and the most expensive tricked out Summit Reserve trim, $76,095. This is as much as $9,980 more than the equivalent non-hybrid trim, but pretty cool. It's in demand. 2-liter i4 engine with 2 electric motors making 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. This is really nice. It has an EV range of about 25 miles an hour, and then you have the reliability of yesterday's gas to go ahead and keep on going. Now, what's interesting is this is making more horsepower than the 357 horsepower V8 and considerably more horsepower than the 293 horsepower V6. Super cool to see. I think they're going to be hitting the roads and the dealers spring of 2022, so it's just around the corner, and I can't wait to see them on the road. The most expensive Corvette has been sold. I think this is up there. The 2022 Corvette Z06 Vin #1 has been sold at the Barrett-Jackson auctions for $3.6 million. That's a lot of money, but it is going to charity. It's going to a veterans charity, and it's super cool to see these, low VIN, especially VIN 1 cars are very, very high in demand. This is a 670 horsepower, 5.5 liter V8. What's special about this is the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 engine ever. And it's cool to see that it's coming from Detroit. The production car will not be anywhere near $3.6 million. We're expecting it to be around 90 for this car. And what's nice is, and what's unique about this is, the engine has a flat plane crank. So instead of sounding like Corvettes of last year, it's gonna sound like unlike anything we've seen before, heard before. It'll be more Italian, it'll sound more like a Ferrari, but it's a Corvette for everyday people like you and me at $90,000. This is super cool to see. Production will start this summer, and I guess we'll see them more on the road as the year goes by. VW and Bosch are teaming up for hands-free driving. VW is competing with GM's Super Cruise and Ford's Blue Cruise to do their own version of sort of hands-free but not eye-free automatic hands-free driving. What the other companies are doing is keeping cameras and infrared cameras at your eyes to make sure that you are looking at the road and not at your phone. And VW is teaming up with Bosch to develop a system like that. They are targeting level 2 driving by the end of the year, and they're looking to, by the end of next year, and they're using AI and high-res maps to do so. Super cool to see. I hope they do this right and they do this safe for us on the road. Talking about keeping us safe, Kia has a recall. The Kia group from about 2017 to 2019 is recalling about 400,000 cars. So if you have a 2017 to 2019 Kia Forte Coupe, Kia Forte, Kia Sedona, Kia Soul, and Soul EV, you're going to want to go ahead and get in touch with your local Kia dealer or Kia customer support to schedule your recall. It is an airbag malfunction that they're trying to avoid, so that way it does go off if you need it. So make sure you give them a call to go ahead and get that taken care of. Now on that wonderful note, this has been Daily Car News. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. As always, you can find my links down below at Gary Fasalvo anywhere on social media if you need to find me, and give me any tips on what's going on in the car world. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you tomorrow.